Carlos Nelson with the Kansas City Business Association. And on this series, as it relates to, uh, we're talking about trials, tribulations that being Black in business in America, not just in Kansas City, in any city. And we're bringing quite a few Black businessmen on to talk about their journey so that uh, if you want to get in business, I would have you need to listen to some of the people that are on this series because they've been in business, most of them 20 years or more. Without further ado, we want to bring on uh, the gentleman that owns the Combine Pizza here in Kansas City, and that's a major place for our community to gather and have a good time, I would say. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Introduce yourself and tell our audience a little bit again about your story. You've been on before, but your story is our story.
Definitely. My name's Alen Kneeland. I am the owner of the Combine located at 2999 Truce in Kansas City, Missouri. I am past president of the Greater Kansas City Restaurant Association here in Kansas City. And just try to create a space for our community to come together and relax, let their hair down, have some great pizza and cocktails, and enjoy each other.
I forgot about that. Tell them about this. It's not just the pizza place. You cocktails and
Oh
things.
yeah,
Yeah. Give
cocktails.
them what you
We
do.
we got a nice rooftop as well that we have open. Serves a lot of different people that want to come up there, whether it be for a date night or a meeting spot or a group gathering, birthday parties and day parties and all that other good stuff. We got a lot to offer as well as a semi-private space that a lot of people celebrate birthdays or other gatherings like that too.
Yeah. Every time I come, for the most part, it'd be quite a few people from sororities and fraternities to different clubs and what have you. I come in and get my slice of pizza and get up out of there. A
Yeah.
couple of times I've been there when they've had things and took pictures.
Mhm.
Give our audience a little bit of where you come from, where you went to school, and how you even got into the entrepreneurial scene.
I started off in this industry in 2000. Well, let's go back. I'm born and raised here in Kansas City, Missouri, right off 75th Street. Um, got my first start in the restaurant industry working for a company named Panera Bread when they had a location in Westport. Learned all the different facets of that establishment. Started off as a dishwasher and just went crazy learning, how to work the line, how to be a barista, how to, be a cashier. And then after working my way through that company, I got into management.
Let me
But
let me hold up. Tell our also put timelines on this. How long you worked as a dishwasher to where progressive.
indeed, I can't say specifically because it's been like almost 20 years now. That's wild to even say for me. 20 years ago is when I started in this industry. But I worked for that company for 9.5 years.
There we
Um,
go.
and then I got an itch. I got this itch to like want to own my own business. But I mean, as we know, you can't just have that itch and not have the money or knowledge when it comes to opening up a restaurant. So with that being said, I got with a mentor. He kind of was like, "Man, you want to do this? You want to be a small business? You probably should get around somebody that has their own small business." And that's when I actually ended up working at a pizza shop out in Fairway, Kansas, called Pizza 51, and really kind of got a chance to get my hands dirty in small business. There's a big difference between working for a corporate company and then when you work for a small mom and
Talk
pop.
about that difference.
One of the first lessons I learned when I started to work for that mom and pop's business was I can remember to this day I was on the line and I think I was putting too much sausage on the slice. And he was like, "Hey, hey, 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 calm down. And it was really like one of those things like, hey, like this is his money. You know what I mean? This is not just one person in an office that works in a whole nother state. This is like somebody that has ties to this community, and this is the money that he's putting in to, build a business as well as pay his employees and make sure the doors of that business stays open. So I got a really got a real bird's eye view on how small business works and the margins that they work on as well. And so with that being said, I ran that business and kind of took some of my corporate experience when it comes to service, when it comes to like really getting programs and processes down. And I kind of helped bring that to that business. And from there, I ran that pizza shop for about 2 years. And so I think that was like my time of graduating into like being able to, understand how it kind of works. But you won't understand how it works until you really get into business, right? So I ended up going back to Panera and became a GM for that company. So that means I had my own store. So that was my first experience. I really got to dig into the numbers of a store and really see the financials and see how it really operates. Um, Keep in mind later on, maybe about 2 years later from that is when I got the phone call from the guys that I was running his pizza shop and said, hey, if you still want to open up this business, let's partner up together and let's create a concept. And then that's exactly what happened. We took trips around Kansas City looking for different spaces and different opportunities. And then one day a Remax dealer or a Remax agent reached out to us and was like, hey, I've been hearing about y'all concept. Y'all want to come and check this space out, which that space ended up being the space that I'm in now today at 2999 Truce in the old Wonder Bread building. And we fell in love with it. And from there, 5 years later, I'm here still talking about, our great pizza and cocktails.
All right, so this is what I want you, because you mentioned your partner. Talk about how it is when you're working with a partner versus yourself. You've had three different types of experiences with the corporation, the small business, and now your business per se, and you have a partner. Talk about that, because that's kind of hard also when uh, if you're not on the same page.
Correct. Partnerships are a marriage. It's a relationship, and it's one thing that if y'all not on the same page, then you're risking your business. You're risking the success of your business. That's one thing I kind of had to learn, on the fly or um, real work experience. That's what
On
I
the
call.
job training, basically.
Exactly. So on the job training, there's no book to tell you how to be with a partner or in a partnership. And we definitely learned in the beginning. It was me and two partners, and one was pretty much just doing admin, which was my mentor, and then the other one was just making sure our bar program was running correctly. I was pretty much operating owner, making sure everything day to day was running properly. People were getting hired, people were getting fired, which not really fired, but payroll was being done, orders were being made. That was pretty much what I was doing, making sure relationships were being built with that community. And Yeah, 2 years ago, I was able to buy that partner out, and now it's only me and two.
Talk, talk, talk. Let's talk about access to capital.
Mhm.
Talk to our audience about uh, that part of the business.
Okay. I will say, proudly say that this business is operated with no loans, completely debt free, and our money was the money that was put up to build that business. So I know a lot of people don't go that way, and I know a lot of people get grants and get loans and uh, uh, have access to capital outside of their own pocket and savings. When it comes to starting a business, I didn't have that opportunity. I literally had to uh, grind for a little while to actually save up the money to buy into the business. So we could make sure our doors were open. Um, But in our community, I don't think that's something that's actually even talked about. Most of the time, when it comes to opening up businesses, a lot of people not like us can go to a bank and give them the idea, and they're like, "Hey, here's a check. Good luck." But for us, it's more of us putting up our life savings and praying and hoping and wishing that it works out. And for a lot of us small business owners, that's not what happens. It doesn't work out, and then we're left with our life savings put on the line.
And that affects our families. That
Yeah,
affects our kids, and and a lot of times we do it because we're want to be entrepreneurs, but we're doing it in our community, and a lot of times our community doesn't understand the economic uh, as it relates to that. And you have a part of the community. Oh, he's got the business, and life is sweet,
yeah,
and all of that, and don't know that as an entrepreneur, you be losing sleep at night,
yeah.
and then have to come in and try to make it happen. So you've been in business how many years now?
We celebrated 5 years in November.
Excellent, excellent. So talk about your vision for the future.
My vision for the future is kind of like on the short term. Is really optimistic. I'm looking forward to what's getting ready to happen for Kansas City, and that's talking about the World Cup. This is a once in a lifetime type of event that will bring so many different people to this city, and hopefully infuse our city with revenue and small businesses with revenue, so we could maybe possibly think of things that we may not have even thought of when it comes to the future of our businesses. But for me, I'm pretty much focused on making sure my staff is ready so we could be the most successful, making sure I'm ready. So we could be the most successful during this time of World Cup when we're expecting over 650,000 people to come to our city.
All right, you know what just came to my mind, so I'm going to ask you. Tell our audience a little bit about the different types of pizzas because I'm from New York.
Hmm.
When I came to Kansas City, they didn't have New York pizza,
Right.
and the first one was original New York pizza out at Bannister. Some guys, some Italians out of Brooklyn started, and then the Bronx
The Bronx.
Pizzeria, they bought that back, and I hired their manager when I had my pizza restaurant on
Right.
uh, Prospect. Uh, Talk about do you plan to expand or do anything in any other areas in the region?
Those are conversations that I've been having. Um, excuse me. Those are conversations that I've been having as of lately, and those are options that I'm looking to kind of pursue. But at the same time, it's kind of focusing on this next quarter and seeing what actually happens and seeing if I want to keep it where it actually is right now and see how that just does and kind of back up and do my own thing and maybe create another concept, or if it's like, hey, you know what, I think the one is there, and maybe we might want to go to the Northland, or maybe we might want to go out to a Grandview or a Raytown and expand on the concept and create a bar and grill or something like that. These ideas have definitely come to my table as of lately, but I think my focus right now, when we're talking short term, is really just seeing what happens when it comes to this World Cup and this summer to see what I want to do leading up into opening a new restaurant.
As I said, it got off topic. Tell them about some of them products because that pizza that y'all make is good. And then I know I missed you. You had Gates on one, and I came in, heard about it, and then you was like, "Nope, we just stopped."
Yeah, yeah. So that was a great collaboration. That was probably my second or third collaboration, and I think that was probably one of my most important ones. So it was actually during the time of me becoming president of the Greater Kansas City Restaurant Association. I got the opportunity the honor to put Ollie Gates into the Hall of Fame of the Missouri Restaurant Association. And so, with that being said, I thought it would only be right, me as president, the first Black president of the association, to somehow figure out a way to collaborate with history, collaborate with a restaurant that has been around and a staple or cornerstone within our city for years. And when I say years, I'm talking like 75, 76 years. So I thought it was only right. And so me and Bianca, which I believe is his
This
granddaughter,
is his granddaughter,
we
Eva's
kind of,
daughter.
yes, yes. So we kind of worked together and sat down and was like, hey, what possibly could we do? And I was like, man, people love burnt ends in this city. You know what I mean? And what would be better than burnt ends and pizza? And I'll tell you this: when we finally came up with the deal and figured things out, I simply put a picture of Gates, Kansas City, and the Combine together and said something was coming, a burn-in pizza. And within an hour, I had people coming to the door and saying like, "Hey, where's this pizza at? Where's this pizza?" I saw the post. I'm here for the pizza. I'm like, "Give me a day," because I just posted it, but give me a day and we'll have it. And that was during the Super Bowl time too, so it was kind of really like a whole bunch of things going on during that time. But I think it was one of my best collaborations.
Tell me this. Speaking of that, talking a little business, be, uh, because you had all them TVs and things during football season with the Chiefs having they run. How
Mm-hmm.
did that affect your business?
Man, every year at the end of the year, I would always send a thank you note out to the Kansas City Chiefs because anybody that has ever been in this industry, the restaurant industry, knows that during the times of, right after the holidays, December, end of December into January, all the way excuse me, leading up until February, uh, the restaurants are slow. People just getting over the holidays. It's winter. You may have some snow in between there, so people aren't necessarily coming out of their houses to go out to eat. And so one thing they are doing is coming out the house to watch football and support their playoff football teams. And over the past 4 or 5 years, we have been blessed to have a team that has been constantly in the playoffs, and not only in the playoffs, has made it to the Super Bowl a few times as well. And so, with that being said, there's money that has been, just filtered through our restaurants and places that are places to watch the game. For the past 5 years. Now, this year we didn't happen to make it to the playoffs, and I did see somewhat of a difference within that. But I think that Kansas City was kind of like, you know what, we'll take this break. So I did see a dip in sales, but it wasn't just terrible like normal years.
But
But
you lucky because the people that sold apparel,
mhm,
bam. I
yeah,
was like, these fans done turned traitor on
yeah,
the Chiefs. They just, oh, we're not champions no more. Bye.
yeah. Yeah, it's quick to see. I mean, it's funny to see how people switch up when the team's not doing well. But I got faith in them, and I seen some of the moves that they've made in this offseason, and I'm really excited to see what happens this next season for the Kansas City Chiefs.
One of the things before we get off air, I wanted to talk about that you mentioned that goes really with Cascade, and you said you were basically debt free, and I've been debt free building my business. How you built it with your own money you saved and you did, and you don't have any notes hanging over your head. How important do you feel that is
Um,
for to be successful?
yeah, okay, yeah, okay. Let's add that component to it because I mean, uh, if you don't have that piece to it, like you said, it affects your family. You know what I mean? This is a major risk that, not only me, but a lot of other people take. And it's not an easy one to do. You know what I mean? There's times when I don't get checks, and me and my wife are used to going out to nice restaurants and, going out and enjoying people just like the everyday person is.
That's what I wanted you to talk about because I was going to point out. I know recently you become a parent, and uh, I've been an entrepreneur all my life. I don't even know how my wife stayed with me. the things that you have to deal with on a personal level.
Yeah. Sometimes, we can't go out. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's like, you know what? We're gonna sit home and cook. You know what I mean? But I think one thing for me personally, having a daughter has been that big motivation for me because there's nothing that she will go without. You know what I mean? I grew up without a father, and to be able to give that type of love to my daughter is it's amazing. I was just talking about excuse me, I was just talking to my boy the other day, and I was like, man, like to be a dad is like a totally different feeling, and like to have a baby girl, oh my goodness, it's amazing.
They
So
all together different from having a boy.
yeah,
A lot of people that don't have kids, you have that girl, she be the princess.
yes, yes, and there's nothing that this princess won't get. You know what I mean? So it kind of takes me in the super drive to make sure that things are successful, and even if they aren't successful, we gonna figure it out. You know what I mean? To make sure that we still moving forward. So
You
that's
know
the thing.
that part of the equation? I think I told you I had just did Jason Parsons.
Mhm.
Uh I've been around y'all long enough to when y'all didn't have kids and then y'all have kids. And I remember one Christmas, Jason had brought his wife and the baby over to the office because I was taking Christmas pictures. And them kids are in fifth grade and
Ooh
sixth
wee.
grade now. I
Yeah.
just remember when your baby was born, little baby, and Chris Good also,
Hmm.
and seeing y'all navigate businesses, and as you said that you were the first black uh, that was president of the Restaurant Association. And I think I told you my history with my godfather, called DeCapo,
Uh-huh.
had been president of Italian Gardens.
Yeah.
And what I was saying to Jason being chairperson of the Kansas City Downtown Council, they've never had no black in that position. And as I said to him, even when Bruce Watkins was alive, uh,
Hmm.
they didn't. And then I talked about Quentin Lucas being black mayor, and a lot of things have changed in the last 30 years as it relates to these organizations and what have you. And I was saying how proud I was of him and Quentin, even though we don't get along on certain political lines
Hmm.
and certain things, but uh, I'm happy to see, just like you, I'm happy to see that you are making it in a world that is not designed for us to make it.
Indeed. Indeed.
So, in closing, what would you have to say to entrepreneurs, and also what would you have to say to uh, our viewership about visiting your establishment?
I'll kind of start off with your last question, and that's visiting my establishment. First of all, we're open 7 days a week. We are here for the community. Our motto is exist together at the combine. I don't know how many times, and I'm pretty sure this has happened to you, but you walk into the combine and you plan on just getting in there, getting your piece and heading out, and all of a sudden you see your cousin in there, or you see your old coworker in there, or you see just one of your old best friends that you haven't seen in years in there. That's exactly what happens at the combine. And that's outside of the great food and pizza that we serve. You know what I mean? So it has really become one of those community hubs, community watering holes to, just come in and have a good time. We're open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Thursday. We stay open till 10 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. We do offer our rooftop now. The weather is getting great. So, I mean, we know how Kansas City loves eating outside. When it comes to your first question, you were saying, what would I leave your viewers with when it comes to being an entrepreneur? And I think that, first of all, I mean, there is no in entrepreneurship. I mean, I found my way around so many different no's. People told me, no, you don't have enough money. No, this is a terrible idea. No. And I mean, that didn't deter me from continuing to stay the course and open up the doors of the combine. If I would have, listened to people and said, like, dang, they right, I wouldn't have what I have now. Second of all, I mean, you got to get your body ready. You got to get your mind ready. You got to get, I mean, sleep is not a consistent thing for me. Neither is just peace of mind. And when I say peace of mind, I mean, yes, I find peace within my family. I find peace within my daughter, and just being able to, sometimes spend time out at a restaurant. But you got to have tough skin to be in this game, whether it be front facing and dealing with customers, or whether it be front facing looking at them numbers. You know what I mean? You got to have tough skin. So get ready.
Yeah, I like that. So, as we always say in closing, when you invest in your community, you're really just investing in yourself. Good night.
This is brought to you by Kansas City Business Association, working to improve our community.